Blame the Jews!
Look, the cheap fucking pricks that listen to this show are the biggest fucking douchebags in the world. They fucking complain when we don't do a show, but they refuse to support it. Fuck them. Fuck them hard with a glass dildo. Cheap fucking prick.
Oh my God. That's a little too much.
Well, is it ever too much? Welcome to Unrelenting.
Close. It's pretty damn close. I'll tell you that.
Yes. I think if you continue to like tweak it, it can get there with a little bit of work.
Yeah.
This is an AI show, of course.
As always.
And this is beyond what we have talked about in the past, because we always were talking about 11 Labs, which they charge you a decent amount of money for this stuff.
Ink that up.
And this is local, free, download, do whatever you want.
Mm-hmm.
And it is so close. So close. And it can handle large inputs too. So you could put a whole book's worth of text in, have it read.
You'd want to.
Well, I mean, it probably makes more sense to break it up, except for the fact that the time capacity. So for the people that will complain about how slow it generates, and this really wasn't bad for what it can generate. I think
how long does it take? How many minutes per minute?
On the M4 base Mac Mini, I believe it took about a half hour to do 14 minutes or so. So almost half real time on the lowest M4. So if you get the big boy, man, because this is utilizing the GPU as well. So it should speed it up by quite a bit. But if you have a large project that you're working on, you can put the text in and go to bed. Then get up and you'll have chunks of like 12 seconds to 15 seconds a piece. And then you'll have the full file together. So you can go through, listen to it, and then decide what you need to edit. And it would make it easy enough, and then run it through. Again, this isn't running it through Photoshop or not Photoshop, through Audition or anything to tweak the audio. This is right out of the box. Granted, I mean, yours, I think I put in about 50 seconds, 50, because it's not hard to find long stretches of you or I talking.
No, you're kidding.
So I think it learns a little better. They were arguing on No Agenda yesterday. Dvorak did not believe that these audio cloning things only needed 3 seconds of audio. And maybe he's right. The minimum it says on this is 6 seconds. I've never tried less. I don't know if it'll even accept it or work.
Well, I think your quality will be affected by how much you put in there.
Yes. And it's an oddity because it doesn't save what it learned. So when I put your voice recording in, I need to put that voice recording in anytime I want to do a Gene voice. So if I want to switch to somebody else, I have to upload their audio.
Oh,
it's not remembering. It's not.
So you can't do like a safe pattern kind of thing.
No, not yet. Although I'm guessing that's not too far down the line. As well as being able to tweak and maybe being able to learn. I don't know how much adding more.
They've got to add stuff like that because what you should be able to do is create these patterns and then literally like a script, be able to assign the voice that you want to the part of the text. And then you could literally do our whole show without waking me up.
Right. Or you can take, No Agenda or any other podcast and then just change the voices to somebody else. And half the people in the world, nobody would know. It would be easy.
And there is a kind of a thing like that right now on using the iPhone where you can do real-time translation from one language to another.
Well, I know ChatGPT does. There's something else as well now. a translate lab.
Yeah, I think that's built in on the new iPhones, the latest iOS. Where you can just have the microphone listening and then talking to your Bluetooth.
Well, this is what I was
hearing
looking for.
Language.
Right. This is what I was
like a babblefish.
Right. Oh, Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy. If anybody is listening to this show and they haven't read The Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy yet by Douglas Adams, stop the show right now and go read that.
Okay. I'll see you in a little bit.
You've never read the...
Of course I've read it.
It's going to be like, you've read it.
I'm going to do a mention of Babblefish without having read the book, please.
That's a good point.
Remember, we talked about this. Somewhere, and I don't know where it is, but somewhere in my boxes in the garage of my childhood crap is a towel autographed by Douglas Adams.
Oh, that's right. Somewhere among the ponchos, there is a towel. You always have to have your towel, kids.
You say that kiddingly, but literally those boxes are about 3 feet apart.
That damn garage.
I gotta clean the garage.
But this is the technology that I want because we've watched all of the Lego Masters from the United States.
All right, keep talking about that. My groceries just showed up. So
okay.
I'll be back in about 3 minutes.
Well, I've already timed Gene.
Okay, I'll be back in 7 minutes.
If you're going to put a clock on me, I've watched all of the Lego Masters from Aussie land, from Australia, which are in English, of course. Watched the Lego Masters. There was only 2 seasons from New Zealand. They figured if the Aussies could do it, they can do it as well. So I watched those. And now the only Lego Masters left, they made it in China. Yeah, so there's a season of Chinese Lego Masters. And I'm betting they are the best damn builders of Lego around. But of course, these shows, China, there's one from, of course, Denmark, where they're from there. Billund is where Lego is from. And there's a bunch, I think Finland. There are a bunch of Lego Master shows out there. And of course, they're all in their native language. And I'm like, wait, there have been people that have gone through and translated and made subtitles for them. But it's like, fuck that. You can do audio now. Why wouldn't you take, one, if somebody wants to do the translation first, but why wouldn't you take, if the technology is there, to run a television program or whatever it is? Maybe you're watching some kind of weird thing on Rumble and you're like, I don't understand what this Russian dude's saying. Why not have the technology that you can just flip a switch and get instantaneous or near instantaneous translation of what you are listening to? That would just be freaking awesome. Now, Ron V in the troll room, man, everybody get to the troll room. NoAgenda.stream. Like, here's a mini PC better than a Mac Mini. And of course, because it's got 96 gigabytes of RAM. What's this thing even cost here? It is the ultimate AI, the AMD Ryzen chip. I'm guessing there's an NVIDIA card somewhere in here, because everything's got to have an NVIDIA card. These little mini boxes now that they are making for the AI stuff are just getting better and better. And of course, more expensive, which is the one thing that the Macs still do better is they're not as expensive. They don't take as much power, but yeah, they're quite a bit slower. A little bit slower. But this little Mac Mini being able to do the instantaneous voice creation and have it be pretty, I mean, if people weren't paying very close attention, I don't think anybody would notice the difference. That it's not even the real Gene. Nobody would know. Well, they would, because they'd be like, wait, Gene seems a lot more likable lately. What's going on? How much is this little box here? $8.99. Ooh, you save $230. This isn't even a Prime Day special. So for $900, which is, to be fair, I think that's about what this Mac Mini cost, because it was the base chip, but it upped the memory to 24 gig, and it upped the hard drive space to a half terabyte. They start at 256 gig, which is just fucking ridiculous, Apple. But this thing has an AMD Ryzen AI 9 HX370 with an M2 hard drive, dual USB 4 ports, 2.5 gig Ethernet, and Wi-Fi 7. That's nice. Oh, and Copilot. Well, fuck Copilot, man. Nobody really wants Copilot. But that's not a bad price, I suppose. But there's no NVIDIA. Is there they got the the CPUs, the Ryzen card. But there is no video card in this. Is there? I mean, I don't see nothing listed here. Because that's usually what you need to do all the CUDA stuff in order to speed it up. Don't worry, Gene had to get his groceries. The show has gotten way better, though, now. For C. Brooklyn's like, did Gene leave you? Instead of rage quitting, though, he food quit. Then he was probably like, ooh, this looks good. So he probably sat down. This
looks good.
Right, and made himself some barbecued ribs or something. We were just looking at little mini PCs here.
Barbecued ribs, please.
You're in Austin. You'd go out for that. You wouldn't
like there's that time to do that? Come on.
Well, yeah, because it takes like 24 hours to properly make ribs.
Exactly.
I was just saying, man, with all of these television shows that are in a foreign language, that would be the ultimate, is to just have a box that you could run it through in real time. Then you don't even need to process
you could watch
it.
the BBC then.
Yes. Oh, I about to say what's going on. Yeah, we did. You know, they say things like, lift when they mean elevator. You don't go to the Ireland or the UK and say, how's your fanny? I mean, that's a totally different thing. Totally different thing in the UK. So if people are listening in the UK, they're like, this motherfucker. But I think overall,
we speak proper English.
Oh yeah, we still real good with the English. We good.
Mm-hmm. Wait, this is historically more accurate. There's been studies done, and the English of the time that the United States became independent is a lot closer to the English we speak, especially here in the South.
Oh yeah, if the South would have won, man, you'd have had it made.
Than the current British English in England. Like their English is further away from where it used to be back when our country is separated.
I believe it.
So the English you hear now is not what was actually spoken even 100 years ago.
No, this thing's got an AMD card in it. See, you need NVIDIA because AMD is the one that's like, yeah, we don't. Again, this is just odd that nobody has put the money in to really move the needle. I mean, your NVIDIA stock is in a much better place because they're the they're the only ones doing this. The
$4 trillion. It is the most expensive company in the world right now,
and it's all
more expensive than Apple, more expensive than Ford, than anything.
And can you imagine all the people? There's a decent amount of people who jumped off NVIDIA thinking, "Oh man, the whole desktop gaming thing is crashing. I'm getting out of this before it goes down."
Yeah.
And they missed the whole AI and crypto mining thing.
Look, their stock has always been volatile. Like you go back 5 years, their stock was more volatile than others.
And rightfully so.
There's always opportunities because there will be a dip. Guarantee you that. But right now it's at 166.
And explain Bitcoin, which is freaking soaring still today.
Well, of course it's soaring because we've now had an admittance that there is only one party in the United States.
And we are partying. We are partying.
Well, we're not.
So I am if the Bitcoin keeps going up, man. I'm like,
everybody else is screwing children.
I mean, that's what I know. That's really not within my little bubble. So, I mean, if it's something you're an expert on, then feel free to expatulate. I mean, that sounded dirty. Just forget it. But we are talking about who could even prove though all of this stuff? Like, hey man, there's a list. Show me. How do you know it's real? If there really was something on paper.
Because I've seen it.
Okay, Dershowitz. He's the guy, man. You better watch for the hot tubs and the small planes.
Mm-hmm.
Because he's like, I've seen it. I've seen the list, and I know why they're not releasing
I reposted it on X. Somebody posted it. I reposted it.
It's like interesting. Because remember, he was at first accused of being one of the Epstein cohorts.
Mm-hmm.
And then somehow.
And by you mean O'Reilly?
No, I mean Alan Dershowitz.
Oh, okay.
Who was originally accused.
Right.
And is the only one that I can tell as of this point that the woman that accused him of being a part of it went, oh, wait, I'm sorry. I think I confused him with somebody else.
Mm-hmm.
Now, allegedly, because of that accusation, he was given access to these files, which I'm not sure I necessarily buy 100%. But again, I want to know.
Well, of course he was. If you're being accused of a crime, you have the right to see the evidence against you.
He must examine the evidence. So he knows what he says he knows. Like I said, avoid hot tubs and small aircraft. Because the story is constantly changing, which I find funny. Mainly from the fact that I think Dan Bongino is kind of a blowhard dick.
I've always thought that.
And before he was put into the position that he is with the FBI, he was like number one conspiracy theorist on things like, oh, you got to release the Epstein list. Oh, you got to release it. Oh, it's real. It's real.
He about that constantly.
And then now he's like, nope, doesn't exist.
Mm-hmm.
I can tell you it doesn't exist. But the funnier thing then for me is, for the people that were with Bongino for the 4 years of you got to show us the Epstein list, who believed him, why do they not believe him now? What changed your belief?
A lot of them do.
It's an interesting thing. It's like, well, if you believed him then when there was no proof, now why wouldn't you believe him when he's seen behind the curtain? There's no way to know what is there and what's not there. I'm still kind of curious, as with a lot of and you can say that a lot of times criminals are just idiots. But if Epstein had a lot of this stuff, why would it be on unencrypted paper as opposed to encrypted on computers and hard drives that nobody would ever find? Because let's understand that the encryption...
I think you're missing the whole point.
Which is?
That you keep talking about Epstein like he's some guy in a white van trying to lure kids with candy.
No, he was in the white plane where...
No,
Bill
he was
Clinton.
in the CIA. He was officially in the CIA for the last 20 years.
He was officially
which is why
in the CIA.
They will never talk about it, because his operation was signed off and funded at the highest level.
But then why did they talk about it to the point that they weren't talking about it?
Well, who talked about it?
Obviously Pam Bondi. Obviously Dan Bongino.
Right. Well, Pam Bondi, I don't think talked about it before she got into office. The other guys talked about it before they got in office, like Dan Bongino and the Indian guy.
Kash Patel.
And yeah. And they always, because that was a common topic between them, because I've been reposting all these clips lately.
Because they were mad they weren't on that list.
They kept getting asked questions about it. None of these people talked about it other than in the context of answering a question. They didn't just come out there and say, oh, by the way, you guys haven't asked about the current status of the investigation and files, so we just thought we'd update you. It was always in response to a reporter's question.
Well, but at the time, Bongino was the reporter, so he wasn't answering a question when he was on his show constantly.
But that didn't. What I'm saying is, when he got his official position, other reporters were asking him the same questions he was asking previously,
that he now didn't want to answer because he had to say no. There is nothing.
It's not a question of not wanting to answer. He can't.
You can. You might just get a bullet in your head immediately. You can do whatever you want.
A bullet. Why everyone's so damn over dramatizing this? There's no threat to anybody. It's very simple, dude.
It's a big threat.
You get hired for a job. You're in a position that'll generate you millions of dollars for the rest of your life, because once you get out of that position, you're going to write a book. That'll be a couple of million right away. And then you're going to be doing the CNN and the Fox talk show circuit and everything else, more so even than what you had previously. So the salary he's making is inconsequential. It's all the shit that happens after you've been in this position that generates money for you. So you got this job. Your first week there, they're like, so you're going to need access to classified data. So obviously, we'll do the background check and then raise your right hand and say the following. Under threat of imprisonment or other punishment, I swear that I will not disclose classified information for the next blah, 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 25 years.
Or Hillary comes for you.
All right. And then over the course of the next 6 months, they're showing him more of the classified information, which shows you that the whole persona of Epstein is a false persona created by the agency in order to entrap certain people.
So why they put Ghislaine in jail then?
Well, for her protection, frankly.
Why do they put Epstein in jail? Is it the same answer?
Oh, no. I think the same reason they killed Osama bin Laden.
Like sometimes you just have to be the fall guy.
Because none of these people are currently dead.
Oh, you believe Epstein's out there still roaming around?
I don't know about roaming, but
I guess you have to be careful about roaming at this point.
Yeah. No, look, there's a funny little AI video somebody did that I reposted the other day of the missing 1 minute segment from the video is Epstein walking out of the cell.
Moonwalking, twirling around.
And literally walking down hallways and then getting into a van where he's going to be dropped off. Dude, seriously, you must have read enough political fiction of stories that included, we need a body that kind of is 5'7".
Oh, yeah.
Like this shit happens on a routine basis. If you need a dead body, you get a dead body. It's not that hard to do.
But I thought
there's enough people that die every single day, and you can apply any kind of neck wounds or anything else you want to them after the fact. Not to mention nowadays, with all the AI crap, you don't even need a real body. But back in the day, certainly even 5 years ago, you did. It is not that hard to do. So,
no, I thought there was no missing video, though. That was only on something that they had enhanced the video, and there was a minute missing from that, but there was no minute missing from the actual video.
Missing. There is. They also lost the video, and they said this back 3-4 years ago. They lost the actual camera of his cell. The video that we see, which is hilarious, because somebody else did they took the layout of that prison and then drew the lines of where the camera could actually see, and the camera could see the cell right next to Epstein's cell, but Epstein's cell isn't even in the video. Like his cell, you've probably seen something about this, I would assume, but the only video left that they have, the one that they released, was shot from a security camera that was across the hall from where the cells were. So the two main doors you see in the video, neither one of those is Epstein's. His actual cell door is what is the furthest that you can see, but and there's a door there that's like across the whole hallway. But his actual cell is next to that door off camera. The camera that was in the catty corner of this camera on the other side, they lost that video. That was accidentally erased like 3 or 4 years ago.
Sure, lost.
So
that's in air quotes, right?
Well, I don't know if it was lost. It may have been lost. I mean, lost includes being erased.
True.
That's part of kind of like our moon landing videos.
But the whole thing,
So-
again, would be any information that was there for the people that are like, well, they're not like Elon, for one. They're not releasing it because Trump is implicated. Yeah.
Trump is implicated. That was one of the things that I retweeted. His name
That's
showing up
total
9 times.
bullshit, because the Democrats would have used it. They would have extracted it from whatever they had, and they would have used it. So right there is proof that they
That's
had
not proof.
nothing.
That's conjecture. You should learn what the definitions of those words are.
I killed Jeffrey Epstein. I acted alone.
Wow.
That sounds more like proof right there.
That sounds like valid proof.
Mm-hmm. Well, a hell of a lot more than, well, the Democrats would have done something. It ain't that simple. The Democrats could have also done a lot more other bad things, which they didn't do. Why didn't they? Why don't we have harsher gun laws while Democrats had all 3 branches?
Well, why didn't they codify abortion? I mean, there's so many questions.
Yeah, exactly. So you can't just say, well, the Democrats would have released something if they had him on Trump.
But they were going after him so hard.
Of Trump hanging around Epstein.
There's
There
like
are
one.
lots of, over the period of about 11 years. This is not like, well, he showed up at Mar-a-Lago once and then I kicked him out. No. That's total bullshit.
You know how
We have
rich people
videos
are.
that started in 1992 going through the early 2000s of those two hanging out.
You know how it is with rich people. You hang out with them all the time.
I don't anymore. But
They don't let
either
you.
way,
They're like, no.
either way,
get outta
there's
here.
a lot of video of it, and it's what's inconsistent is how Trump pretends like he's barely heard of who this Epstein character is.
Well, of course, that's what you do when you want to belittle somebody. You know,
Well,
for instance,
I'm sure he'll be saying the same thing about Elon pretty soon. I probably spent 10 minutes with Elon.
who was
Very
that guy?
easy guy.
Doesn't he run some website? Isn't that what he's got?
Yeah, doesn't he work for China? He works for China, right?
At the end of No Agenda yesterday, they were running the Just Two Good Old Boys show. And Adam's like, oh, yeah, that's Darren and Gene. So I just let dude named Ben know that he's been
Nice.
replaced. It's all
Then
over.
you may want to let him know.
Yeah, it's all over. It's all over but the shouting now. This is how things change. Then people will be like, oh, I heard that. No, Two Good Old Boys. That's not Gene and Ben. No. No, Adam Curry. No, you guys are wrong.
See, this is the Mandela effect.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Like, how do you know what is true? And this, I think,
Well, frankly, that is a little embarrassing because the number of times that CSB has sent in donations
yes,
to, that mention that show and who's on it to Adam and Tina's podcast.
I like Two Good Old Boys. Oh, we got to get CSB. Can we have like 6 seconds of your voice, please? Come on.
Oh, here we go. You're going to be made public. Yeah.
I think CSB's voice has always been AI. I'm pretty sure that's the way it has worked. But I think this is a serious problem in the psyche, and things like the Jeffrey Epstein story are now greatly affected by the fact that there are plenty of people that understand that video can be very convincingly brought out of nothing or edited. Audio the same way. The concept that somebody might have a black book, it's like, well, how do you know that's the black book? Or how do you know what's inside was originally what was in there?
Point. Yeah, you're hitting on my other point, which is it's semantics. And when it comes to legal language, it is all about precision. And so what I noticed is if you watch videos during the Biden era, all the references to Epstein were not about a list. They were about a book.
Right, a black book.
Everything that this year, this year, everything ever since Trump came in, is always all the quotes, all the news reports have been about an Epstein list.
Right, there's a list of clients or whatever they called it.
So could there be a list in a book and they could technically say there is no list because it's not a separate document? Absolutely.
Well, and I didn't think that Pam Bondi's original response was that far out of left field for what she's saying she meant. Because you were being asked about a lot of things. And this is where I hate the ant fucking, because everybody does it. When it's like, oh, well, she was asked, well, are you going to release the Epstein list? And she's like, hey, all that stuff's on my desk for me to look at. That doesn't mean I saw a fucking list. It's like all of the stuff is there. Give me time to look at it. And people are going, from No Agenda to Glenn Beck on down the line. Oh, no, that she admitted that she said it wasn't. It's like, no, that's not what was said. Now, could she be lying? Sure. But that's not, you can't use that. If that's all you got is that response and that question, then it's like you got nothing. Because people don't know what words mean. You see this all the time.
I would normally agree with you, but she's a lawyer. And that's not how lawyers speak.
I think it is. Right. Let me just remind you, Sonny Hostein's a fucking lawyer. I mean, there are some really fucking stupid lawyers who are not eloquent at all. So,
all right. Well, fair enough. I'm dealing with lawyers literally every single day.
So you must love them.
And,
they're wasting your time, Gene.
It's all about specific, precise speech.
Are you hoping to get a better room in the jail? Is that what you're really trying to get right now? I mean, the caviar guy, access to your caviar guy. Gene's like, I'll confess, but you're going to need access to my caviar guy. I'm going to have to get my tea delivered. I
don't know why I was voted most likely to end up in prison in high school.
By how many people? Everybody? The teachers? Like, huh? Yeah, look at Gene. Look at everybody else. Yep, he's a bad seed. But hey, the area you lived in has now been taken over by the Somalis. So
it has completely, yeah. Mm-hmm.
It is a very weird thing, and I'm fine with people coming to the United States, but it's just weird when, like, an area like that kind of seems to. It's like the Chinatowns and all that. It's like you don't have to be a genius to understand that it's probably not a positive thing to basically have little cliques all living in one little area. It's weird to me anyway.
They don't assimilate.
Right. So it's like, this is where you're thinking sleeper cell, man.
This is literally why, if you've seen the reports, LA traffic is perfect now. Everything's green.
Green?
Like there's no slowdowns on any streets.
Never?
No, it's all green. If you look at the map, it's like LA all of a sudden doesn't have traffic. Why is that? Because the illegals are gone.
Everything opened up. That's it. There's really, that's hilarious. But then you go to the headline.
The drywalling vans, all the painting vans, all the food service, everything's gone.
You go on to Drudge, and the headline literally within the last 24 hours was, there's really no deportations going on. Like, well, then why is everybody gone? And what are you getting so upset about? Why is the left so pissed off if they really aren't ejecting millions of people? What are they so pissed about? What have they got? Oh, and you remember your last episode, because it was 2 weeks ago before the 4th of July, you said the big, beautiful bill would never get passed. Oh, it got passed.
Well, that's a half pass. I mean, it got passed with a lot of shit removed.
Well, this is how it always works. And I think they're now going to go after a lot of the shit that was added in that they didn't want. It's still my biggest pet peeve with government is the mega bills, rather than, hey, if you're going to make a law about smoking, whatever you're making the law about,
right?
That should be the only thing in that bill. No,
remember, this is why we had line item vetoes created.
Right.
For that same reason, is because they put together a bill that includes like increasing sentences for, murderers, and they tax on soda.
Right.
It's like, what? Well, how's that in the same bill?
It doesn't make any sense.
Well, it makes sense completely from their perspective, because the way you create these bills, if you want to get 51% to vote for the thing that you want, if you do it by yourself, first of all, the other party will always vote against you, which means you got it's only going to pass if you have 3 or 4 people don't flip.
Right. You got to have
So
all the pork.
convince them not to flip. It's
Right.
like, well, I want my soda bill to pass. Well, I'll vote for it if you vote for my anti-gun bill.
Right. I'm like,
And then the other person's like, well, I'll vote for it if you vote for my pro-gun bill.
right. Because I'm like, no, Gene, I don't want to move the show to Wednesdays at 8:00. But if you buy me a new Mac Studio, okay. That's what's going on. It's all the payoffs.
It is. Well, compromise. I mean, it doesn't have to be in a negative context, but the point is,
Usually is.
it's a lot easier for them to create these omnibus bills than it would be to have a whole bunch of little bills, of which half would fail to pass.
Oh, on their own, no doubt, at least.
Yeah.
Because people will be like, well, no, that's insane. Well, yeah, but if we put it in with these 8,000 other things.
Right. Which is why one of the outcomes of this bill was supposed to have been getting rid of the National Firearms Act.
The big bill to beat all other bills.
Yeah. And, when that got to, and I predicted that there's no way that's going to stay in, that there's too many Democrats against it. So that when that got to the Senate, you remember the controversy, because it wasn't a senator, it was the Senate parliamentarian who was brought in by Democrats, and the Republicans didn't bother replacing that person. The Senate parliamentarian said, no, this bill has to be only about taxes, and therefore you can't actually get rid of a law that was created as a standalone law. That was what she said. The reality is she's full of shit, because this got challenged and went all the way up to the Supreme Court in the 1930s. I can't remember if it was 35 or 37 or whatever, but it was sometime in the 1930s. National Firearms Act, which is the act that prohibits you and me from owning fully automatic weapons or silencers or rifles with short barrels, right?
Yeah, that ain't America, man. That ain't freedom.
That already went to the Supreme Court in the 1930s, almost 100 years ago. And the Supreme Court said that this is unconstitutional, but the arguments were made that this is not a prohibition, therefore it is constitutional. It is merely a tax. So you can tax firearms and you can even theoretically tax free speech. There's nothing in the Constitution that says you can't have a tax on free speech. It would work the exact same way, or a government tax on publications. That could be a thing as well. So under the same kind of mentality. So the Supreme Court basically said, given that it's a tax and you're simply collecting money in that bill, then it's not unconstitutional, and it's been around now for almost 100 years, or actually, yeah, it might be over 100. Well, around 100 years. And what they did in this final version of the BBB that they passed, they left everything in, but reduced the dollar amount of the tax to $0, which used to be $200. And they lowered it from 200 to 0. So literally 2 days later, GOA, Gun Owners of America, filed a lawsuit, which hopefully will end up going all the way up to the Supreme Court. It should, which effectively says that given that this was simply a tax on firearms, when you reduce the tax to 0%, then all the other elements of that bill, of the NFA, should be moot. Like, they should go away, because the only reason that bill was allowed to be constitutionally accepted was because it was a tax.
Right.
If it's at 0 rate, it is no longer a tax. And all the other requirements, which include fingerprinting, photos, all the biometric stuff, cannot be applied if the tax is 0. The only reason they were allowed is under the argument of, this is proof that you paid the tax. Okay, well, if I don't have to pay the tax, then you don't need my goddamn fingerprints.
Or your picture. Or your DNA. That's what they want, man.
Anything. You don't need anything.
It's all about an information grab.
Exactly. So now the original, I think we can all agree, looking back on the original bill, the NFA essentially is what came out of the final version of the bill, but that it started as simply a prohibition on firearms. The intent was very much to just, we're sick of criminals having guns. Let's just make guns illegal for anybody to have. And that way criminals won't have them either. It's that stupidest argument
right
in the world was actually what was tried to be passed. And thankfully there was enough pushback against it that the compromise was, okay, well, if we can't get 51% to agree, or it may have even been 2/3 back then. I don't know how many people voted for it, but if we can't get a majority to agree on outright banning guns, if we think that that's going to be challenged in the courts for the constitutionality, then at the very least, let's make the tax really freaking high, which means no criminal's ever going to pay it. And therefore, all criminals that we find with a gun will also have this additional charge for having a gun. Because $200 is the same amount that was passed almost 100 years ago. So in today's money, that was equivalent to about $5,000 per gun.
It's like one trip to the sushi guy. Well, actually less.
That's a lot more than one.
Go down and get some sushi.
Yeah.
Oh, it is time. Hold on.
$5,000, please. What are you drinking? White Claw?
Today, yeah, a little White Claw today, a little Emulsion. It's great for the show.
Mm-hmm.
Reddy took the
pills.
Reddy took the CoQ10, so it's a much smaller amount of pills.
You just drink the whatever. What's the thing you're drinking? I forget. It's Liquid Death, right?
This is Liquid Death Severed Lime.
Mm-hmm.
Almost felt bad yesterday because of Prime Day.
Mm.
We've got the wife drinks some of this really cheap stuff, Refresh or something.
Mm.
But my dad is, he's ornery and he doesn't like to drink regular water. And the only thing we get him to drink are these things. They're the hint water, which is purified water with just a little bit of taste. And they charge for like the bottles now at the grocery store, like $1.67, like the 16-ounce bottle. It's crazy because it's water.
Mm.
But when you can get the cases for under $1, not the cases, but the bottle in the case, they're 12. When you can get them for under $12, we'll order them. And of course, Amazon had them on sale for like $9.50. So I ordered 12 cases.
Oh my God.
So the girl showed up with them last night at my parents' house. My mom's like, it's a small girl. And she was grabbing them two at a time. Like you'd think they'd have a dolly for that kind of stuff. But I guess.
Well, no, that's taking up valuable Amazon space in the truck.
True, and slowing you down to take that out. But at least they were watching, so she opened up the garage, put them right in the garage, gave the girl a tip, which she nobody ever does.
No.
But it's like, well, of course, Amazon basically made you do it because it's like if they weren't on sale, you wouldn't have bought it. But they make the big deal like, oh, it's on sale. It's big sale, big sale. It's like, okay.
Did you see the news that reported that Amazon sales are down for Prime Day sales?
Yeah, it's like 40%.
Down 46%.
Uh-huh. I'm not sure I buy that.
Yep. I do. I didn't order a damn thing this year. Last year, I ordered a whole bunch of stuff.
Well, the first year or so, it was products that you were aware of from companies you were familiar with.
Yeah, there are no companies you're familiar with left on Amazon. It's all like gobbledygookledy industries.
Uh-huh. Very bizarre names. Obviously, it's all just Chinese crap.
Oh, yeah. Yep.
And it has become the time of year where these companies release products. So if you're coming out with a new robo vacuum, well, you sell them on Amazon for like $200 for Prime Day. I don't know how many you sell, but the minute Prime Day's over, you put them up at $500 and hope that all the reviews that people go, hey, for $200, this was fucking great.
Yeah. Well, and there's some monitors are crazy cheap right now. Computer monitors.
I know. I don't need any more. I don't
either. But I look at the prices. I'm like, how do they make money when they sell a 24-inch monitor? And I remember my first 24-inch monitor I bought for about $900.
Oh, yeah, easy. Yeah.
It is now $99.
Jesus.
And they weigh way less, so they're easier to schlep around, you know?
Well, if you have to carry them around with you.
Well, just getting it, out of the box and putting it on your desk. Like back in the day, that used to be like a 35-pound monitor, Not easy to handle. Now, in fact, I have 2 of them that are not plugged into anything that have just been sitting on a monitor stand now for over a decade because I don't really feel like yanking them out and throwing them in the trash because they're fucking heavy. They're literally over. They may not be 35, but they're certainly over 20 pounds.
Yeah, I remember when a buddy sent me a 27-inch CRT that he no longer wanted. Mm-hmm. That thing weighed like 100 pounds, maybe more. I'm looking here. My first 27
inches was the family TV size for many years.
I ordered a Samsung Touch of Color T260 25.5 inch LCD monitor on May 7th, 2009 from Amazon. And that was a pretty good deal, $384.
That's pretty cheap, yeah.
For back then. I know I've spent a lot more there. I also bought an HP 24-inch. This one looks like it was higher resolution. That was a week later. Okay, now I remember. The Samsung sucked so bad. I went to the HP, and that was $554. So that makes...
Not today, man. That'd be the other way around.
Oh, it's just depending on the panels that were in more than the brand at that point. But even right in the product title, 1920 by 1200, man, that's good.
It is good. And I don't know how we all ended up shrinking our resolution because we went from 1920 by 12, which is incidentally the resolution of the 2 monitors that I don't use that are still sitting here.
Nice.
But we went from 1920 by 1200 to 1920 by 1080. We lost 200 pixels.
Well, yeah, because it was what the movie people were doing. It's bullshit.
And I was like, I don't give a shit about the movie people. I'm a computer people.
I want taller.
Yeah.
I wish this fucking thing was like almost a square. That would be even better.
Well, and that's why I ended up flipping the monitors on the side eventually.
That makes sense. And here I got a couple of refurbished Dell 19-inchers back in 2017. And all from Amazon. What are they? 110.
By the way,
$55.
I think it's LG that has a completely square monitor you can buy now.
Ooh.
Yeah, it's a 1-to-1 ratio.
We'll have to look at that. But these side monitors that I'm running here, these on the 3 monitor setup I have, I bought those in November of 2017. They were refurbished for $55 a piece, still going strong.
Mm-hmm.
Like beauty of technology. But now for $55, I could probably get one the size of the wall behind me.
Yeah, exactly.
It's like, damn.
And it'll weigh half as much.
That's even better.
Yeah.
That's even better.
Well, it is. And you're right. You only have to screw with it once when you first take it out of the box. But even still, it just makes it easier to do that because my main monitor that I use it's a 43-inch gaming monitor. So it's still pretty thick. Because it's 144 hertz, so it's a high refresh rate, high brightness, blah, blah, blah. But like the monitor on my Mac is just a super thin Samsung that's probably well under an inch. It's probably like 2/3 or even a half an inch thick. This gaming monitor is like 1.5 inches to 2 inches thick and weighs 2 or 3 times more.
You got to have them pixels, man.
In the butt.
Yeah.
But it's same resolution for both monitors. They're both 43-inch 4K monitors.
Different panel type
on the PC. Yeah. The Samsung is just a standard old cheapo. Same resolution and 60 hertz refresh rate standard. Whereas the other one is a high refresh, high brightness monitor.
Well, let's understand, as long as you are sitting right in front of the monitor, you can get by with a much cheaper panel. A lot of what you're getting is, you could see it really well from the side. Like with the big TVs, the old, the large, huge big screen TVs. If you were sitting right in front of a man, it looked great. The colors were great. You went like 45 degrees on the side of the TV.
Oh, yeah, it got way darker. But with OLED, like none of that matters because it's very bright from any direction.
It's bright. It's dark. It's great. And we do actually have a few people that have supported the show. So I guess
But it does burn in. That's the one downside.
Oh, yeah. You don't want that. But you can just throw it out and buy a new one.
That's true. You're not wrong.
We can take a moment to thank the people that support the show, which it's amazing. There are more than a few today.
I know. We lost one on my other show.
Really? Oh, man.
Yeah, every time we lose a supporter, we have to talk about it.
A moment of silence.
Mm-hmm.
But let's start with the boost because there were a bunch of these coming in. Of course, 2817. This shows you where Bitcoin is. 2817 is now $3.33.
Yep.
From CSB.
I'm sure CSB's happy.
He's happy. That means he can send us less sats.
One sat.
Will be $3.30. That cheap son of a bitch. But his message in the voice of Gene is,
here is 320.33 in Bitcoin. Please visit www.csb. LOL Corva Yo CSB.
wow, it even did Corva pretty well.
It did Corva correctly, yeah.
Wow, CSB. That is open source AI text to speech, buddy.
Mm-hmm.
Imagine what you could do with your own podcast. I'm surprised Bemrose hasn't resurrected his with the AI, because then he wouldn't even.
We were telling him to use Love and Labs from the start.
I know, but now you could do it for free.
Dude, what you're doing, where you write the whole damn script out ahead of time, you might as well use AI voice.
Now you could do it for free.
Mm-hmm.
Billy Bones.
You got to have a computer that can do it.
Well, true. Billy Bones came in with 333, and he just has a question. What are the unrelenting rules for dating? Well, I think Gene would be the one to handle that, because I haven't dated in.
I mean, if you're going to follow rules, which nobody ever does, then it's pretty straightforward. Female, 23 years old.
There's no math to be had here. It's not like half your age plus 7 minus 12 or whatever.
That's too much math.
It has to be just a 23-year-old.
Yeah, I mean, why penalize yourself?
I can't come up with a reason.
No.
He was dating a woman that he suggested they go play pool, and then he never heard from her again, which is pool really looked at as a like a low life thing now? I played pool growing up.
Well, yeah, I played billiards myself.
Well, it's the same damn thing. Same. It's billiards. It sounds so much more refined. You probably should know your
audience. I mean, there may be women that you invite to go bowling and they think it's the coolest thing. And then there are other women that you invite to go bowling and they're like, yeah, no.
So the first question should be Billy Bones. Hey, you like NASCAR?
Yeah, that's not a bad question. I mean, like,
if you want a woman,
not a rule. This is more of a suggestion, but asking questions in general is helpful.
Yes, it is. You want to know a little bit more information.
Mm-hmm.
The software that we're using for the voice.
But never, ever ask, where do you want to go?
No, you got to be the man.
That is the biggest turnoff for women, according to all the TV shows, is asking a woman where she wants to go or what she wants to do will result in her thinking, maybe not saying, yeah, find a guy who's not going to ask me that.
Right. I want somebody that knows what he wants instead of.
No. She wants somebody that knows what she wants when she doesn't know herself.
Right. No, there's a running bit with my wife, and I've been married since 1995. What do you want for breakfast? I don't care.
Yeah.
Literally every day. I don't care.
Mm-hmm.
The text-to-speech software.
At least that's honest.
True. Is a Chatterbox-TTS. There's one that is made especially for Apple Silicon. If you have that, if you don't.
Would somebody ask which one are you using?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the one that's for the Apple Silicon is over on Hugging Face, some account from Jimmy something or other. The other one is on GitHub.
Jimmy something from China.
Probably. And you know what? The whole value for value thing, when I look at 11 Labs and they want to charge you $22 a month to do 100 minutes of voice per month, I'd fucking send Jimmy in China $20. I'd be like, fuck yeah, this is cool.
Mm-hmm.
This is what it should be.
Yeah.
This is exactly what it should be. but it works. It just damn well works. And it's at the beginning still. So I can only imagine it getting better. I just need to.
It'll get better.
And
if you can get it to a point where it's real time, where you can literally, like, as we're doing the show, you can type something in, hit enter,
and have it
read it out loud, the way you can right now with 11 Labs.
It's very close.
That would be very cool.
I think it might be at that kind of speed if
you got the right hardware.
Right. If I had something running a 4090, I bet you it would be nearly instantaneous. If I was running
would that be faster than doing it on the high end Mac?
I think so.
Still, huh?
Yeah, it's unfortunate, but it's all still pushing towards it. I would have to really do some testing because this one at least is being optimized to use the Mac GPU, and the Mac GPUs, your amount of RAM that you have is going, even on this cheap ass fucking base Mac Mini has 24 gig of RAM, which every video card has less except for the top end 4090. Which I think is 32.
I've got 24 gigs in mine.
The 24 started with what? So that would be with the 3090, 3080. But it has to be.
I don't think 3080 has. I think 3090. I think the 80 has 16, if I remember right.
That sounds about right.
Yeah.
A CSP,
which used to be back in the day. 16 used to be overkill.
I know. People
nowadays, it's barely enough. People are wanting like 32 or more even.
If you want to run large language models and AI, it wants to put a lot of stuff in memory, which makes sense.
Yeah. I think Linus did one of his episodes where they created a Frankenstein video card where they soldered more memory in there.
Oh, yeah. I think they bought it from like Alibaba or one of them.
I'm sure. Yeah.
But this is where, the Macs, there have been the videos of the people that bought. That's probably why these things wind up on the refurb, because Apple will give you 2 weeks or something to return it. I've thought of doing that, like buy the most maxed out fucking Mac Studio you can.
Yeah. Test it out.
Right. Use it for a video and then send it back.
Yeah.
Say thank you very much.
Yeah, you do definitely have a refund. I'm not sure if it's 2 weeks or even in 30 days, but it's some period of time for sure.
You're like, hey, I tested it.
Which reminds me, I need to later today drive out and drop off a pair of 3D glasses that I was testing, get that refunded. But I still have my old pair of 3D, I shouldn't even call them 3D glasses, of video glasses. So no one's pinged me from either podcast wanting those.
Nobody's like, I need it, I want it.
Well, it's so they're going on Amazon right now for $299, and my offer was $200. I'll ship them out, and
with a free poncho. People, come on.
Yeah, well, I can certainly include that. The poncho doesn't take much room in the box, so I can certainly include a free poncho.
No, and it would protect the glasses.
Not really.
Come on, work with me here. CSB also came in with another 1,015 sats. That's a little over $1. Are you still talking about Jeffrey Epstein? The guy's been talked about for years. At a time like this, where we're having some of the greatest success and also tragedy with what happened in Texas, it just seems like a desecration. It's like, thank you. He's quoting Donald J. Trump.
Yeah, that's not a good look.
CSB as Donald Trump. If you found out CSB was actually Donald Trump, man, boom, brain exploded. Be like, you bigger boosts. And
you would be pretty mad if you found out something like that.
Before C. Brooklyn left the troll room, he came in with 1, 2, 3, 4. And then we actually had a few that came in via PayPal, including Weenie Wawa with his monthly $10 donation. Scott Gorman, who comes in with $2.50 every show. Well, there was 2 because we took the 4th of July off. He didn't care. He came in with twice $5. Kevin Seifert, monthly $5. Darren Rundle, I think this came in during the last show, but I didn't put it on the page, so I don't remember if we talked about it or not. He says, works slow right now, but wanted to send something, $3.93. And Mark Kodro with his $3.33 a show coming in.
That's a lot of people, man.
Maybe people actually listen to the show. I don't know.
I think you just got everybody aligned that wants to do monthlies.
Right. To get
they all refresh at the same time.
We only do one show a month. It's genius.
Yeah, yeah. Well, that would be the threat if we were no agenda. It's like, well, with these kind of donations, sure sounds like people just want one show.
We could just AI the rest of them.
Well, I'm sure that's coming. But look, I don't want to switch to using just AI until to the point where you can't tell it's AI. Right now, it's close. It's impressive. But everybody could still tell.
Could they? Could everybody tell?
I'm pretty sure.
What about the people that just read the transcripts?
Okay, well then, not everybody.
This would be. It's like they don't get words wrong. That's the beauty of the AI. Nobody ever stumbles on a word.
Yeah, that's how you know it's AI.
So, I mean, if they add that in, this is going to have to be a part of the realism AI add-on. Would be that every now and then you have to like stutter a little or get a word wrong and repeat it.
A slider that says how many ums would you like inserted?
Exactly, your breaths like you got to add those in. It's all very interesting stuff though, because it's way better than I thought.
One of the best AI voices I heard recently, as I was looking for some AI voice stuff for my gaming channel, was an ASMR AI voice. And it was extremely realistic sounding. Like you could not tell that was AI.
Well, I would think that might actually be easier because of the way the AMSR is presented.
Yeah. Because it's a breathy kind of sound.
Yeah, we should do the whole show that way.
Oh, we should.
People would love it.
But using that voice by just having it reach it that's typed is like that totally sounds like you have another person on the podcast whose only job is to do that.
Now, if you were to take somebody's AMSR audio, I'm assuming that would train the AI to read in that style.
Well, I don't know. I mean, this was already created. But
even better if it was AI.
Yeah.
I saw somebody posted that YouTube is trying to get rid of all the crap videos. I'm like, I don't even know how you can do that. Because there are some people that are just so bad at what they do that they're going to assume it's like AI. I understand the ones that are going to take the regurgitated same video, which you see all the time now, where if you're doing research on certain things, you'll open up like 5 different videos, like for a product review, and they're all the exact same video, just with different voices. And
yeah.
But it seems like YouTube, they're trying to get rid of the AI. Amazon is trying to get rid of the AI written books. I'm like, I don't know how you can do this because there's no way to prove that it's AI. Now, if somebody buys a book and it sucks, or they turn on a video and it sucks, you can do the down, thumbs down. For YouTube with Amazon, you could return it. You can complain and be like, this is garbage. But I don't know how you can try to filter things and know how they were created and why using AI for a tool. Again, somebody like Ryan Bemrose, if he's going to, as a human, or even with AI help, write a script for a podcast which is accurate, succinct, it makes sense, it flows.
Right. Yep.
And then you use an AI voice to perform it. Why would there be a problem with that?
That's another voice you should play around with while you're testing your thing is grab some Brian Brushwood.
Brushwood?
He's got a distinct voice.
Be like, hey, I'm going to have you read my audiobook, Brushwood. Thank you very much.
Exactly. Yeah, thank you very much. Well, no, it's not what you say. What you say is, I'm going to have somebody, it sounds very similar to you.
Right.
But not you, therefore I don't need to pay you. Read my audiobook.
And this, again, is going to raise big questions about what kind of rights people have to their voice print. And at this point, you have none.
Yeah. Well, that's not true. It's more of a question of, have you made it public?
And if you have, really, what can you do? Because you can't trademark a voice. You can't copyright a voice. So what is the protection?
There is something. I'm not sure exactly what it is, but I know I watched a video by a professional voice artist, like people that, back in the day before AI used to read audiobooks.
Right. The ones that you
or
had to
do,
hire for
like-
big bucks.
Yeah, the people that you would actually be paying like, $100 a minute to read something. And this woman was talking about how her voice is registered, and anybody that is going to attempt to use her voice would be great for her, because she's going to get a payday that it's even higher than what she normally charges. But I think there is a way to actually say that, my voice is owned by my company, and I don't know the process. I've never looked into it. But does it exist? I'm pretty sure it does, because the way she was talking, this seems to be a standard thing for people that make a living doing voiceovers, or used to, is that they would actually have their voices be recordings of their voices, or, the specific analysis, whatever it is, something be registered and therefore protected under copyright.
Oh, interesting. There's a couple of state laws, including Illinois.
Really?
Illinois has a Biometric Information Privacy Act.
Cool.
It offers protection if the voice data is unique enough to identify a person.
Oh, you're so in trouble now. Thanks for looking that up for us.
You're welcome. Gene's going to be going right here now, going to these lawyers you're talking to every day. You're like, hey, you want to make a little money on this side?
Yeah, right.
I mean, it's one of these things, though.
The rates are out of control. I can't talk about what I'm doing, but I can tell you $1,200 an hour.
Lawyers like to charge more.
They do. That's $1,200 an hour. And then if you need to have if you get a subpoena for your email, there are companies that do that, right? So they will take care of essentially logging into your account, making a backup copy of all your email, and then doing keyword searches on the specific topics within the lawsuit. And the cost for that is in the neighborhood of $10,000 per about 20,000 emails.
Now, do you by
I've
law?
got well over 100,000 emails, because most of it is spam.
Right.
So that'd be like $60,000 to $80,000.
And by law, do you have to give access to something like this if you're involved in
that's what a
something?
subpoena is. A subpoena directs you to provide copies of any documents that are in your possession.
No, I'm assuming they have to know about the email address.
What do you mean?
That if they don't know an email address exists.
It's a generic subpoena. It just says your email.
And then if you don't give them access to the secret email, what happens? Now, if you're doing it like if you're having a business relationship and they're sending it all.
It's usually work related, right? Most people don't get sued personally. It's usually going to be like a company suing another company. And so your email is your business email, not your personal email. Unless you've had business topics done through your personal email, and then everything's fair game.
Yeah, that's right, Billy Bones. It's like Hillary and all those bathroom email surfers.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Flush the drive.
Why do you think she was deleting shit? So for a normal person, if you were to do that, if you were basically got a subpoena for them, and then you just went and deleted them, I was like, yeah, I got nothing, so I'll delete it. That's multiple felonies.
Now,
like doing something like that could literally take you from being a white collar criminal into hanging out in Gitmo, Alligator Gitmo for a few years.
hey, if you like the heat, though, Alligator Gitmo, it's the place to be.
Mm-hmm.
It's like a vacation.
Mm-hmm.
I like this is from Perplexity AI. Practical steps to protect your voice. Limit public voice exposure. Too late.
Yeah, no, that's the thing is once you've released it without those specific, like if you ever listen to an audiobook that's done by a professional audiobook reader.
Right.
And, it'll say in the beginning, read by blah, 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 blah. But what you're not usually bothering to listen to is all the crap at the end, which will tell you that that voice is actually protected.
And this is where it also tells you to be cautious with unknown callers. Never speak first to unknown numbers.
Mm-hmm.
And also, don't use...
There's a better advice I can give. Never answer a number that doesn't have a name that you recognize.
No, and that's what I do. My old-fashioned phones, which we still have, well, they're not really old-fashioned because they're voice over IP. Mm-hmm. The only time the phone rings is if somebody is in the book that is in the little... in the log there. Otherwise, it goes right to voicemail. Although it says don't even use a pre-recorded, use the pre-recorded voicemail. Don't use your voice because that's enough. Although I like the concept here, which I really hadn't thought of, which is using a unique code word with family or friends. So if I call up Gene, rather than saying hello first, you're saying like succotash. So that way, if you don't say succotash, they know that there's something wrong. That could be a fun thing to do with your new dates.
Could do that. That's been around for quite a long time. But
the rain in Spain falls mainly on the plane.
I wouldn't bother answering call from you unless it goes through Signal.
True. That's where Rubio
I would say, please recite the number.
Right. That's where I was sending you the audio anyway of yourself talking.
Yeah, exactly. And then the because Signal, anytime somebody gets a new phone or reloads the app, it says our blah, blah, blah number is no longer valid. Do you want to reconfirm a new number? I can't remember what that number is, but it's essentially like you have to...
A long code.
Through a means other than Signal, confirm with the other person that it's the same number so nobody's intercepting anything.
So you have no man in the middle.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Because those are a real thing.
Yeah, and this is why when the whole thing came out with Signal, it's like, oh, they're using some third-party app that's insecure and could get hacked, and there's somebody listening. That's why it's all bullshit. Because I was recreated that situation very quickly and easily, and demonstrated that the only way that some reporter could have ended up on a phone call was if one of the people that was genuinely invited on the phone call had invited the reporter.
Which I don't think was the question. It was somehow the reporter's contact information, I'm guessing phone number, was underneath somebody else's name in that person's phone, which would be a great way to fuck somebody.
Sure would.
Like JCD thinks it's funny when he takes somebody's phone and he changes it to German. Well, if somebody can take your phone and Signal, I don't remember Signal if it requires any biometrics or anything, or maybe Signal's already running on your phone.
Mine does.
But if you could go
it's an option. It's a setting.
If you can go in and add a contact with somebody's phone number and just change the name, you could really have some fun with people.
Oh, sure. Absolutely. But the problem was, and they did address it, Signal did fix this after, but not before, is that back then you could literally, any of the members of a group call could add another person without any notifications showing up for anybody else. So you could get on a call. It's got 4 people on Signal that you all recognize. You start talking. You're not looking at the damn screen for an hour.
Right.
Usually you put the phone down, the screen turns off anyway.
Somebody else is coming into the chat. If you're doing this on your computer even.
Yeah. But meanwhile, somebody could be adding another person and it made no noise.
Oh, right.
And it popped up no message.
Somebody was added to this list of 20 people. Yep. What's one more?
Yeah. And whereas if you do the similar thing on Zoom, when a new person pops up, first of all, you see it on the screen immediately. And generally, you can't just have somebody come in by themselves without the administrator having to, quote, let them in, or whatever that button's called, to accept the new person that just showed up. So that is one thing that they were lacking, and they have fixed it since. So now you can absolutely, when you create a group as an admin, you can have an option that says don't admit anybody without the admin's consent.
Which would make sense.
That should have been there from the beginning.
Yeah, you should not be able to sneak somebody else into a private chat without at least sending up the fireworks like, oh, somebody added.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
CSB's boosting again. He says, ask Gene to tell a funny story about his pet snake so I can create a song and music video like I did about Larry's dog, Moose. My music videos are available at Exit CSB. Just 3 letters CSB.
I don't know a funny story about the snake.
Does he kill
There's
anyone?
one that I've told before where I realized the snake learned how to open doors.
Right.
That was pretty interesting.
And turn on the shower.
No, that was
accidental.
Unfortunately, accidentally turned on the shower. But the door opening, I think it actually learned. I don't think that was accidental, because what it figured out is that if it crawls up the door and then puts its head over the doorknob, which is just one round doorknob, right? It doesn't have a lever. And then just start crawling further down, that will, through friction, get the doorknob turned enough to be able to then pull the door open so it can crawl through there. And that's fine. I don't mind that. It's generally, like, the snake sleeps for like 23 and a half hours a day.
It's that half hour
crawling. Yeah, it's a slim amount of time that it's not asleep. And so, but when it's not asleep, it could potentially open the door and get out of the room. But usually the only thing it's going to do if it opens the door, gets out of the room, is just crawl right up to the next door, which is the bathroom, and then crawl into the bathtub because it wants to take a shower. Or, as far as it's concerned, it's just sitting waiting for rain.
Right. It rains in this little area a lot.
Yeah, it only rains in that one little area, and it knows, it has definitely learned over the years that if it wants to get wet, take a bath, drink water, whatever, you just got to crawl over to that little area. And it doesn't do this all the time, but sometimes I'll walk in the bathroom, and it's real close to my office here, and the snake is just sleeping in the bathtub. So it crawled to the bathtub. It wasn't raining because obviously I didn't know the snake was in there. Shower's not going to be on all the time. And then it just thought, okay, I'm just going to wait here till it starts raining.
And then eventually some magic happens and you turn the shower on.
Yeah, exactly.
Although I would recommend,
as you did mention, there have been a couple of times, thankfully only like 2, where I've noticed, like, wait a minute, it sounds like the shower's on, and I didn't turn it on. And I walk in there, and sure enough, the bathtub's almost overflowing because the shower's been turned on, and snake is sitting there in the bathtub full of water.
And you're like, I don't want this to happen when I'm not home.
No, exactly. So that's generally why the only time I leave the snake in the bathroom, even if it's asleep by itself, is if I'm at home and I'm not too far away so I can hear if the water gets turned on. Because what I don't want to do is find out the water got turned on by having a leak downstairs, because this is upstairs.
Well, just redo a Deep Purple, Smoke on the Water, do Snake in the Water. It would be a great song.
Snake in the Water, yeah.
Or if you don't want to use that, use this, CSB.
I used to ride my recumbent bike. I used to ride my recumbent bike all over town until Adam Curry told me it was gay.
Yeah. I sent that to him. He's like, oh, it was so gay. But man, I like this voice calling
I
stuff.
still can't believe that he thought my bike was gay when he's riding around on a bicycle with a basket in front of the handlebars.
Well, that's very common over in Dutchland, isn't it? You got to have a little basket. You got to put your little biscuits in there. You put the biscuit
a women's bike
in the basket. Was there fringe on the basket? Was it wicker?
There was flowers in the basket.
Oh, well, very, very delightful look. There's some artwork right there, CSB, too, for the next show. I'm not sure
how often he rode that bike either. I think we both rode our bikes about the same amount of time.
Almost a 0?
No, more than 0, but not daily, that's for sure. Because I remember when he first got that bike, he was all, excited about it. Reminded him of his childhood, and he was like, oh, that's great. I can ride my bike anywhere. I don't know that it's one thing I will say, Adam and I do have in common. We're both kind of homebodies.
You don't want to leave.
If he doesn't need to go somewhere, he won't leave the house.
Yeah. I'm that way.
Yeah.
It's like we can go out.
I remember I talked to him after I think it was, I don't know, maybe last year, this time of year or something. But I remember Tina was on a trip to Chicago or something. So he was home for 4 days by himself. I was talking to him. I was like, so, I haven't left the house in 4 days.
And it's glorious.
It is awesome. Yeah, exactly.
It's like, yeah, I could go outside and ride a bike, but I've got one inside.
Yeah.
Why would I?
Well, and I mean, to be fair, I guess he does go for walks with their dog and stuff, Phoebe. But, I was there when they first met the dog. What he doesn't realize is the dog is his handler right now.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
The dog is read in on the Epstein file.
Yes, exactly right. The
Little
dog is
does he
read in.
know.
The dog is doing a fine job living there.
The secrets are right at hand.
Uh-huh.
It's all bullshit. And it's all just so much wasted time.
Mm-hmm.
I understand to a certain extent we want to have answers, but it's like, okay, what are the answers going to do for you in the grand scheme of things?
What are you talking about?
For anything, for like the Epstein, the people that are like really obsessed now about it. Like, really,
okay.
Who cares? Like, live your life. Do what you got to do.
Probably people that don't like pedos care.
Well, again, but that is also a case of not understanding language, and that was talked about on No Agenda yesterday as well. And it was fun to watch the troll room, especially at the time, because the Epstein thing, and I get it, the guy was a fucking creep. But the world's most notorious pedophile. It's like, well, he was tied to like 15, 16-year-old girls, right? Not like 4-year-olds.
Right. And I think more like 16, 17,
right?
15, 16.
I'm just going to be fair on the, the lowest end, but it's like there's a big
this
difference.
Is the other bit that most Americans have no clue that other countries have other laws.
Right. Well, some people don't know other states have other laws.
That's true too. That's true as well. But like right now, Bahama law is 18, but it hasn't always been 18 as the age of consent. It used to be 16.
I think some states still have 15. I could be wrong.
Yeah. Yeah. And I remember years ago, back when I was staying in Costa Rica, the age of consent was 15.
Yeah.
15.
I mean, it's insane.
Dude, it was uncomfortable being at a strip club.
I can imagine.
I'm literally, seriously, it was just like, it's too young. I don't need to see that. It's too young.
Geez, too young. Young. You want
them to be
old lady strip club. Oh, come over here.
Yeah. 23-year-olds. I want the old lady strip club, please.
They take you to the 80 and up.
Mm-hmm.
Broken hips. Gene's like, oh, this is more my speed.
No, it's definitely more your speed or my other co-host speed. We've talked about that with the photos. Jesus, don't be sending me photos of like 48-year-old women. What the fuck?
I don't send you any photos, but if he's doing it, then I get it.
Who did it? I could have sworn it was you. Was it not you?
The only one I sent was a link to the story about the chick you sat next to on the plane.
Okay.
That was all I sent. Cavalieri. That was it. I didn't send anything else. I thought you wanted to see what she was up to. You could have had a part in that action.
No. Here, let me scroll back. I'll tell you what I'm curious now.
Maybe it was Cotton Gin.
I could have thought it was.
Maybe it was dude named Ben. I don't do any. The only thing
dude named Ben always sends stupid photos. I mean, the guy he's a smart dude, but he's got like he is like Beavis and Butthead.
yeah. Mm-hmm.
Those
would be great voices to clone.
That would be an easy voice, I think.
Shut up, Beavis. Anyway. Come on, Beavis. Yeah. You're like dumb or something.
Yeah, dumb or something. Exactly. Yeah, who is this? Who sent this? Darren O'Neill sent it. Look at that.
It's the one thing.
Kristen Cavallari.
That's the chick you sat next to on the plane.
She's 38, dude.
I know.
Don't be sending me photos of 38-year-olds.
But you could have had that. You could have been all in on that.
I talked to her for the whole flight, dude.
She wanted the full Gene experience. She wanted to buy an e-ticket. Or she wanted to get away from you as fast as possible.
In the rating of women I've sat next to on my flights, she was not in the top 10.
Okay, I'm just picturing you having a physical top 10 list and filling it out, letting the girl next to you see what you're doing. Gene's looking over like,
okay. Yeah. I mean,
you're like third.
It's not that hard. It's not that hard to do, dude. I always sit in the same seat in the plane. So it's just kind of a standard thing. And generally, it's either going to be another dude my age, or
and you're not interested in that. That's a deal breaker.
No. I had a great conversation with the guy. I thought we even talked about this. So on my last flight,
the billionaire
to Seattle was the guy that's the head of engineering at one of the chip companies at the one that makes all the chips. What are they called? They're the ones that actually made the Apple chip before Apple took over updating it.
I believe
What the hell's that company called?
I don't know. I didn't take my B12 today.
Yeah, well, it's anyway. So cool dude. Oh, we had a wonderful conversation. We ended up talking most of the flight. And he was heading to Seattle to go sailing for a month.
And he was never seen or heard from again.
No. I got an email from him like a week ago saying that when he's back and caught up with work and everything, let's get together.
People are wondering if the seat you choose is to keep you alive during a plane crash or if there are other reasons.
Yeah, in case I need to jump out in the parachute, I need to be very conveniently located.
Oh, you got the DB Cooper thing going on.
Yeah.
Nothing weird about somebody getting on a plane without a parachute.
You not bring a parachute in your carry-on usually?
No, but now I think about it, it's not a bad idea.
Well, yeah.
Like, well, everybody, this fucking thing's going down. Gotta go.
All right. See ya. I'm out of here.
Had enough fun. I wonder if do they look at you kind of, will they even let you? I know there's a lot of things that are not allowed.
Let you put a parachute
plane
on your back?
Could you bring a parachute onto a jumbo jet? I want to know. Or are they like, no, that's like a knife or a box cutter.
Dude, of course you can, because you might be flying to go skydiving.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Or you may be planning on skydiving right now.
This I know from personal experience. They won't let you bring compressed CO2 bottles.
Or probably compressed anything.
Yeah, that's true. Which is funny because they let me bring it flying from here to Mexico. They would not let me bring it from Mexico back to the U.S.
Huh. Maybe they didn't know what it was.
No, they knew exactly what it was and said, no, this is prohibited. Different countries apparently have different rules for airplanes.
For blowing up airplanes? Yeah, it's like, this is fair game here, but here, no.
No, Austin's like, yeah, whatever. Austin's great, dude. You don't have to take your shoes off. You don't have to take any of your crap out of the bags. They've got the super high-end brand new machines that scan everything.
Everything.
It's great. Yeah.
Now CSB wants to know what the name.
They're AI driven. They're like AI scanners.
CSB wants to know now the name of your snake. That sounds very sexual.
Name of the snake.
Do you have a name for it? Just call it Snake.
Yeah.
Snaky.
No, Tigrick. Yeah.
Sounds very mythical.
It's a tiger from Winnie the Pooh.
It's Tigger.
Well, no, it's in the translated English versions.
Oh.
In the original, it's Tigrick.
The wonderful thing about Tiggers, I'm the only one.
So, yeah. And then the reason for that is because the species is tiger reticulated python.
Ooh. Does it hang about with the little teddy bear named Pooh?
That would be funny, right?
That's all that would be. The snake just carries it around. I'm looking for some honey, please. Yes, you have any
I would
honey?
love to have a pet bear. That would be so awesome. I've watched a lot of videos and I've posted a lot of videos on X of pet bears, but unfortunately, there's one minor requirement to having a pet bear is you have to live in Russia.
Yeah, you can't live in Austin.
No, you can't. They don't let you have pet bears here.
The snake is one thing, a black bear, they're like, no.
But they're awesome, dude. And I've played with small bears and stuff back in Russia, but you can't have me here.
Well, there are really no bears that as adults aren't like thousands of pounds, right? I mean, what's the smallest adult bear?
No. They're about 450 pounds.
Still pretty big.
It's about twice as big as the biggest dog.
Yeah, which isn't horrible, I guess, when you compare that way.
As far as food cost, he'll basically eat the equivalent of 12 to 15,000 calories a day. It's totally doable.
Well, yeah,
it's not a big, and they're omnivores, so they literally will eat anything you don't eat.
So the Uber Eats guy.
What?
The Uber Eats guy.
Yeah, exactly. But no, they're very smart animals. There's a lot of videos of bears riding motorcycles by themselves.
Well, that's like way back from the circus when we were kids. They had those.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, back when circuses were allowed to do that. Yeah.
Yeah, before they were like, no, that's not nice.
You can't have animals in the circus. What, are you kidding?
Having them do tricks? No.
Yeah, that's mean.
Like they were mistreated.
There are lots of videos. The biggest danger, honestly, is that they don't realize their own strength.
Yeah, I can
so
see
they
that.
could
Like
be wanting to
times.
Just kind of, pat you on the head, and they accidentally break your head open.
They're like, oh, now this looks like food.
Eventually, if you don't feed it enough, but there's a lot of, like, this was just a much more common thing in Russia. Not in the city. I don't want to get the impression that, in the middle of town, there's a bunch of people walking their bears.
That would be awesome.
You gotta realize Russia is a big country that spends a lot of time zones, most of which is extremely low population, like even lower than, Nebraska or states in the middle of the country, or lower than Wyoming. And so a bear serves two purposes. It's a cool pet, but also going to do a much better job protecting you from other animals. Not many animals want to fuck with a bear, even a small bear.
In a big country, Gene, dreams stay with you. Like a lover's voice on the mountainside.
I don't know that song.
You don't know In a Big Country by Big Country?
No.
Wow, didn't you live in the 80s? I thought you were big into the 80s.
I was listening to country music in the 80s, and I do not remember that song at all.
I was listening to country, too, in the 80s, but I also heard Big Country. They're a Scottish band.
Oh, well, that's probably why. It's not real country then.
No, it was rock.
Oh, well, then I definitely wouldn't have remembered it.
It was right about the Miami Vice time, though.
Was Miami Vice rock? I don't think so.
Most of it was.
Young Hammer was not rock.
Well, not the theme, but the music they played. Glenn Fry, You Belong in the City. Oh, come on. The Eagles, Don Henley.
That's very tangential. That's a different crowd, dude. That's not the Miami Vice crowd. That's the Jean Jacket crowd.
The GENE jacket, the Jean Jacket crowd.
JEAN jacket.
Hey, NetNed came in with 5,000 Satoshis. That's real money today.
We did?
NetNed.
Oh, NetNed. Good
he
job,
says,
man.
I love Two Good Old Boys with Daryl and Jan.
Yeah. Jan.
Goys.
That's pronounced Jan.
Jan. Two good old goys with Daryl and John.
Uh-huh.
John the Hummer.
Jan.
John. Ron John.
Pronounced shit.
Ron Johnson from
Ron Johnson, yeah.
From that movie. You know the one.
Yeah.
Fast Times at Ridgemont High.
Mm-hmm.
The one where Phoebe Cates came out of a pool. And really nothing else happened in that movie.
That was literally the movie. Phoebe Cates getting out of a pool.
When that came out at the age we were, it was like, that's pretty much all you wanted to see. Like, can you put that on a loop? That'd be good.
That wasn't the loop. I think that was the bit of the videotape that was worn out completely.
Rightfully so.
Yeah. Now that was a very nice getting out of the pool scene.
They don't make comedies much like that anymore.
How old is she back then? I wonder during that movie. She's probably in her 20s, right?
Probably don't want to know. I mean, that's...
No, I'm going to look it up.
No, you're opening up a can of worms, Epstein.
Mm-hmm.
You're like, this is dangerous. Dangerous. It's like, but we were young at the time.
Yeah.
When filming Fast Times at Ridgemont High.
That was 1982.
Yeah, so I was 12.
And, she was 19.
Oh, perfect.
Yeah. Yeah. She was 19.
Perfect. That's why she looked perfect.
She was perfect.
Gene's like, that's what they're okay. Well, here's your answer then, Billy Bones. You want somebody to date? That's your target right there.
19.
A 19-year-old Phoebe Cates.
I would discourage dating an 18-year-old. I
said 19. I would discourage dating an 18-year-old too.
No, 19-year-old.
Oh, well,
I would discourage anyone under 21 because I've done that. Like 6 years ago, I dated a chick that was 20.
Yeah, and that was like $4,000 an hour, man. You can't keep that up. Going
to restaurants when you're my age with somebody who can't legally drink.
Oh, would you like from us to see you and your daughter here?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And then you give your daughter a big smooch on the lips. Mm-hmm.
Oh, I see how that is in that family. That was the Blues Brothers, right? What was I think that one? I see. Oh no, that was the other Chicago movie.
I was going to say I don't
Matthew
remember that. Blues Brothers.
That was the one Ferris Bueller.
The Ferris Bueller's Day Off.
When he picks her up.
Chicago movie. Right.
I see how it is in their family. The Blues Brothers was great though when they go into the fine dining establishment and he's like, "How much for the women?
Mm-hmm.
How much for the little girl?" See, now you can't do that.
Can't say that.
No, people be like, "Whoa!" And like that was fucking comedy. It was a different time, I suppose.
I'm pretty sure that never happened. Actually, I don't. I think you're imagining that because we have no proof.
No proof. The Blues Brothers that exist still.
No. It's never been a script for the Blues Brothers. I think you're mistaken. That was just a conspiracy theory.
Fast Times at Ridgemont High was Nick Cage's first movie, says NetNet. I do remember seeing that he was uncredited, but that's the first time he ever appeared.
Really?
Yeah, in a movie.
What role did he play? I don't remember.
He worked at one of the fast food places, and you only saw him for like a minute.
Okay.
It's like, this is the way.
But he's Francis Ford Coppola's nephew.
Yeah. What's easy to get put into movies that way?
That's, I think, why he got put into a movie, because he's not a good actor, that's for sure.
He's made himself a nice career with nepotism.
Yes. But I think he developed a character. He's kind of like a character actor, like a Pacino. Like there's one role he plays in every movie.
Crazy.
With his droopy eyes. And a little crazy, a little off kilter. And that's about it.
And it's worked for him. You don't need to really, for today's standards.
Christopher Walken played the same character in every movie.
What do you mean? I play the same character. You got to get in the cadence for it, Christopher Walken. It's hard.
I can't do Walken. I can hear him in my head, but I can't do him.
I know. It's difficult. But it's interesting when you look at a lot of who are considered great actors. And you're right. You see them in multiple roles and you're like, playing the exact same character. So, not really a great actor. They're just really good at reading lines.
Exactly. And this is why I'm not even necessarily that. But that's why I always said, if you look at Pacino's work, he's a shitty actor. Like he literally has no range at all of the characters he can play. Whereas you look like somebody like Tom Hanks, who you don't immediately think of as being a great actor, but you look at the differences between the roles of Forrest Gump and the FedEx guy on
the bosom buddy.
Yeah, I mean, you look at the variety of like a gay dude, of all the characters that he's played, and you gotta realize that's a much better actor.
Yes, has way more range.
He's actually acting. He's not just doing one bit over and over and over.
Right. It's not one particular personality that people just want to see over and over again.
Yeah. Can you imagine like Pacino doing Shakespeare?
Yeah, well, now I can. Can the AI do that for us yet? That would be great.
Yeah. You should load up Pacino's voice and see how that runs.
NetNet says that Nick Cage pretty much plays Elvis in every movie. And you know what? I think you're right. I think it's like a bad Elvis impersonator.
It is. It is an what? There was a movie. Wasn't he like dying in Vegas or something? That was a movie. Or
yeah. Leaving Las Vegas, or
something like that, where he was like a depressed drug addict or something.
With the same girl from Fast Times at Ridgemont High, Julie. What's her name? The other girl that was in Fast Times, but nobody hardly remembers because Phoebe Cates was in Fast Times.
She was cute too.
Jennifer Jason Leigh, right?
Yeah, I've always liked her. She was like that crazy chick. Like,
crazy. Everybody loves crazy chicks.
She was that crazy chick. Like, you look at her eyes and you go, like, this is going to be great sex, but I bet she's going to stab me someday.
You said like Dvorak.
What?
Dvorak, like a couple of shows ago, he's like, yeah, it's the kind of woman that, I would never go to bed with because I'd be afraid she'd stab me in the middle of the night.
Apparently, this is a common experience that you haven't had.
No.
Haven't been married in high school.
No, never did. Never did. I feel
the rest of us have dated crazy chicks that were.
I feel bad. I'm missing out on something. I have never thought I was going to get stabbed in my sleep.
Usually much better sex than other women, but your life is always in danger.
Obviously, you don't sleep because you're waiting.
You got one eye open.
I do now. Waiting for the snap to just be like, whoop, can't do that. Nope.
Yeah.
But I mean, I guess it's for the fun. You're like thinking, the date, don't give her your phone number. Don't take her to your house. I would
she'll stab you if you don't give her the phone number. There's a video I literally just watched last night.
Give her somebody else's phone number?
That was recorded on a GoCam that was mounted on a motorcycle, and the guy pulled up his motorcycle at a gas station. He's filling his bike up. This girl is out of frame the whole time, but she clearly walks over and like, oh, it's a cool bike. And he's like, oh, thanks. Like, so you have a girlfriend? And he's like, no. He's like, oh, you want to take my number? And he's kind of like, well, I don't have a pen. And
bad move, Bubba.
And she's like, what? You don't think I'm hot? And he's like, well, no, it's not that. You're just not really my type. He throws her drink at him. It says, yeah, I knew you were an asshole. And then walks away.
So that's the type of woman that would stab you in your sleep.
Yeah, exactly. That's them. Mm-hmm. They're all like super into you until they're not.
Would you like my number? That is such a loaded question.
Mm-hmm.
That's why Gene is selling Sir Gene's portable phone numbers. You could just, you're like Braxman. You could be like, I could just sell you a portable phone number that you can give. Jesus. That way, when they call,
don't trust that guy at all.
It'll ring your phone, but then you could just turn that phone number off and still keep it. Keep your original phone number. You don't trust Braxman? Yeah, I'm with you there.
Apparently Bondi news just came out. FBI Director, Deputy Director Dan Bongino did not come into work today.
Is he dead?
We don't know.
He disappeared?
We don't know. All we know is he didn't come into work.
This is interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Where's Bongino? Can you still use code Bongino? He was probably out with the woman who stabbed him.
Yeah.
Wouldn't doubt it.
No.
Breaking news.
Jennifer Jason Leigh.
She was older during Fast Times. At least that's what it said in the little thing that I read here.
Did it?
Yeah. It said, despite being only 19, Cates took on a mentoring role with her co-star, Jennifer Jason Leigh, who played her best friend.
Exactly the same year.
Leigh remembers being really nervous. Ooh.
Yeah. Jennifer Jason Leigh is 4 months older than Phoebe Cates.
Oh, okay, here's what I just saw. At 21 years old during the interview. Okay, so that was... You're like 2 19-year-olds. Does that equal... is that okay? Or does it have to be 23? Or can you go with 2 19-year-olds? Does that kind of equal out? Does that get you to 38 minus something?
I mean, see, I'm trying to think. I don't think I've ever had two 19-year-olds. I've had
you haven't had women try to stab you in your sleep.
Same time.
See, there you go.
Yeah.
But two 19-year-olds, that is a rarity. One's going to rob you. Yeah. Just to be fair, you want to know if you bring them home.
The other one's going to stab you. Yeah.
Yeah, one's going to rob you and one's going to stab you. But hey, you might still think it's worth it.
Yeah.
It's hard to say. Your mileage may vary. These are the kind of tips you get on Unrelenting, where you should be supporting the show. Unrelenting.show/donate. Do it right now. And another question. He says, final question for the day, CSP.
Oh, my God. A lot of questions.
Ask Gene what music genre would be most fitting for a song about his snake named Tigric. Well, obviously, it would have to be Russian, like folk Russian.
No.
Oh, you want 80s, like rock? Do you want it to be like...
there you go. 80s kind of...
Heavy synth, like Jan Hammer?
Yeah. No such person.
Okay, Jan Hammer. You want it to be heavy synth? Jan.
Wow, there was a person like that, yeah.
Jan Hammer, CSB.
Jennifer Jason Leigh won the MTV Best Villain.
She's a villain?
Villain award.
Oh, you're villain.
A villain. Yeah, a villain. Best villain. I know. I got into I was apparently thinking of Chekhov from Star Trek.
Yes.
With his phony Russian accent.
No, that wasn't real. That's hard to believe. Come on, Captain. Even CSB can do a better Russian accent.
Anybody can do a better Russian than Chekhov. Like, that's the kind of accent that you would fake if you'd literally never heard a Russian speak.
Or if you only watch Boris and Natasha.
No, that was the Boris had a much better Russian accent.
Interesting.
Absolutely.
And then you're like, this is the only cartoons you were allowed to watch as a kid. Quality Russian role models. The only cartoons
that made it across the Arctic Circle.
You didn't have the internet then to watch whatever you wanted, whenever you wanted. And I thought it was funny.
Moose and Squirrel.
Mm-hmm. There was, I think it was off of Drudge that I found the article. And Drudge, wow, what a cesspool.
How do you go to Drudge, dude? That site has sucked for like a decade.
Know.
Why do you still go there?
Just for fun to see what's there. And one of the links to, and I don't remember what site it was, but the headline was, when AIs go racist, again, the whole ex-Grok, Hitler, whatever it was.
Yeah.
And it's like, when an AI goes racist, who's to blame? It's like, well, fucking nobody's to blame. It's an AI. It's a computer, you dumb fuck. Nobody's to blame. It's like,
it's usually the guy that programmed it and thought it'd be hilarious if it went racist.
Well, it's if Grok, especially being the AI that is absorbing content from X, well, then I think it's pretty obvious.
Shocker. Yeah.
That it's going to have some kind of racist tendencies.
X is just getting progressively worse in that regard.
Well, it's because they're using the same concept of, free speech, which I'm behind, but then that also means the worst of the worst is going to be allowed in, and it's going to overtake, and this is what you're going to get.
The worst. I mean, that's kind of going overboard, but the amount of blame the Jews is definitely getting out of hand, because it would be a parody if the people that weren't posting it weren't being serious.
Yes.
It literally is everything. It doesn't matter what it is. There's someone that's got a post or even a video of how there's a tie-in. Well, such and such's great-grandmother was related to this guy whose kid married a Jew. And therefore, this was all a big plot. I was like, oh my God. So,
and for that, do you blame the internet? And I think you have to, because
I don't think you blame the internet has always had the similar effect. And even before, before something as big as X, single platform, the problem, it's two sides of the same coin, is the internet allowed people with extremely small affinity groups
and penises,
like furry fetishes and shit like that, or brawnies. Oh, by the way, Ben didn't know what a brawny was.
Isn't that like a My Little Pony guy or something?
Yeah. It's like
A brony.
old dudes our age that are all into My Little Pony.
That was on some TV show where they had the whole thing. I forget which one, but yeah, there was a.
Ben didn't know that, and he thought it was some weird sexual practice or something. Which I guess
kind of is.
Kind of is.
Was he interested once he heard about it? Was he like, oh
no? But I said, because he thinks he's all like worldly when it comes to fetish shit. I'm like, Ben, you don't know the half of it, buddy.
Gene tells Ben about the fetish world on the next episode of Grumpy Old Boys.
It's already published. Yeah, we moved our show to Thursdays.
That's even better. Right during No Agenda.
It's not during No Agenda.
It's less of a crowd.
Obviously, we're working during No Agenda.
Really? Are you really though? Are you really working?
Yeah, I work.
But when we were growing up, when we were in high school and there was no internet and there was no social media, I didn't really know anybody that was walking around going, blame the Jews. So the fact that they have...
I think I knew one guy that was. But that's the thing, is like that one guy per, like a population of 40,000 people. Well, you look at how many populations of 40,000 people are in the U.S.
Lots.
And you got to realize there's actually 1,000 plus of these guys, and with the internet they all connected with each other.
Yeah.
And then they can forward messages from one of them, and all the rest of them do a forward, and now it looks like half of X is filled with that stuff.
They're like really happy. They're like, see, somebody else says the same thing I do.
Here's the irony. I've always maintained an account on Gab, because that was
where your brony
the only real free speech place there ever was, because they just don't censor it, period. And it's not like I go there very often, partly for this exact same reason, because yes, it's totally free speech, but literally 50% of the stuff is like Hitler was right. It's a 50% of the post. And I don't think that should be regulated. Like, I'm okay with that. That's fine. I think you let the market decide.
Well, yeah, you let people show who they are.
This is why, like, advertising on Gab costs way less money than advertising on X, because your ad is going to be next to a Hitler was right post. But X a year ago compared to X right now, and it is drastically shifted into that direction. And I blame Israel, obviously, for this, because
of course
people don't know how to differentiate Israel from just Jews in general, because it's too easy just to take something negative that you didn't like about Israel and say Jews. What no one thinks about is that Israel is 40% Arab.
Well, that's the problem. You got to get rid of them.
Well, no, they've been citizens of Israel. The Arabs that aren't trying to blow everybody up, the good Arabs, they're Israeli.
The few, the proud.
Yeah. But there is very much this complete caricaturistic, if that's a word, or cartoonish, maybe it would be another word.
Yeah, character.
View of Israel being a bunch of dudes with long, hair braids, wearing black suits with black hats. And the funny thing about it is that is literally a tiny minority in Israel who most Israelis, including Jewish Israelis, don't really like, because the Hasidic Jews have a much higher population in the United States than they do in Israel.
Yeah, big time.
In Israel, they're kind of seen as the weirdos. That's kind of like the it's kind of like, if you imagine Israel as being full of dudes wearing black suits with beards and hair braids, coming down sides of their heads, and black hats, that would be the equivalent of somebody in Europe imagining that the U.S. looks like an Amish community. Like the whole country is basically just one big Amish community.
Man, imagine the pies.
Because both of those groups were stuck in a paradigm of their sort of leadership that they're following, originating in the 1800s. Maybe it was the 1700s, but either way, like between 150 and 250 years ago. And that's where the dress comes from. That's where everything comes from. You know, for the previous 1800 years, Jews did not wear clothes like that. So this is a fairly modern sect of Judaism, is the ultra-Orthodox side. But in the United States, they're the most visible, and they're visible because most people don't know that half their coworkers are Jewish because they
don't ask.
Couldn't tell.
Yeah,
because they look exactly the same as them, and they're non-religious. So they don't, you know, the only thing you might notice is they don't go to church, but so do most Christians these days. Don't go to church.
Oh yeah, no Catholics.
So the only ones that you really notice are the ones that act different and dress different.
Yeah.
And then there's an assumption. Well, that's what Jews are. No, that's literally a small, tiny little fraction of Jews that follow that particular sect of Judaism.
But did you ever have an Amish girl on Rumspringa?
Never? Why?
I'm just saying that would be kind of a checklist thing, bucket list.
Oh, I would love to. Yeah, no, that would be great.
Amish girl, Rumspringa. Oh,
hell yeah!
Wouldn't get much better than that.
Well, I mean,
she might be able to bake pies too. She
probably knows how to bake pies. Yeah. Or I guess if you don't want to use the Amish, then let's use the Church of Latter-day Saints. Let's use the Mormons. So if your impression is that all Americans are Mormons, then that would be similar to what I think the impression of what Israel is for a lot of people.
That would make sense because people are uneducated fucks.
What's that? Yeah, I guess you could probably say that, but it's the kind of thing that makes it easier to lead to stereotypes.
Which again is because people have been, their brains have been turned into mush because of very short videos and short posts. They can't comprehend, which is why it makes it seem like these AIs are more intelligent because they can actually process more characters at a time than the human brain.
Yeah, it's true. And where are these sort of brain damaging videos banned?
China.
Russia and China.
That's why they're coming ahead of the, well, it makes sense.
Yeah. So I watch My Little Pony and dress up like a pretty horse. So what?
That didn't sound as good.
No, that definitely did not sound as good. You need a bigger sample, probably.
Yeah, we'll give a bigger sample, but we'll be back the next week to not relent yet again.
We're going to attempt to not relent.
Do you think we can do it? Do you think we could? Do you think we can make it happen?
Look, I don't want to overpromise.